Okay. Alright, so last time on Dragon Ball Z, we cleared a salty cave of all of its fishy inhabitants and skeletal sharks. And then everybody kind of rallied in a house to stay the evening / day and evening and rest and recover. Basically having routed the Sahagin that were present and taking some much needed rest in one of the local houses, as was offered by the town and the leader of said town. There was much rest, relaxation, and time for thought. And everybody basically did their things, went to bed, and woke up the next morning refreshed. Having woken, some individuals note that one among you is no longer present. And among their belongings and area where there is now a missing space of their goods, you find a simple letter that has been placed. And the letter reads, I'm sorry that I didn't stay until you all were awake, but I'm not very good at goodbyes and wish to get to Neverwinter to hopefully begin my studies again as soon as possible. I'm writing to tell you all how grateful I am to have journeyed with you all while I did, and how much I hope that we may meet up again someday. I hope you understand that I truly believe I can do more good learning more about magic and testing my limits with it, among others more experienced with the arcane. I would like to thank you, especially Nokris, for your kind words of wisdom last night, and to let you know that I will take them to heart. Yours truly, Argo Liaden.
Damn.
Bitch freezes my whiskers off and then bounces.
Damn.
Well, thank God for that. We saved one youngin's life at least.
Yeah.
She did have much still to learn.
After seeing and reading something like that, Italia would definitely be pretty shaken. She definitely felt a sort of, how do I say it, not quite motherly, but like a teacher kind of attachment. So, like, having someone leave like that is, yeah. Damn.
Well, we can only sail by our own moral compasses, so.
We all handle death and near-death experiences in different ways.
That we do.
Yup.
Takes out his flask of elven wine and takes a sip, and then passes it around to everybody.
Oh, I hope this does not bode ill for the morning. I take a swig and then I pass it on.
Holly kind of sniffs it and takes a little sip and passes it on. She's not big on wine.
Yeah, Talia will definitely take a swig and pass it back over to Azzy.
Stuff is stupidly fruity for the morning, dear God.
Miles, it'll help you wake up.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
I'm gonna pull out some pocket bacon and offer it to Knockers.
Thank you. I accept it. And use it to cleanse my mouth slightly of the fruit.
After seeing this interaction, Talia is just gonna kind of chuckle and go to brew herself some tea and say, at least all the children didn't leave.
Well, we should start getting ready and see what the rest of these people are going to do now that their village is hopefully all set. And we do have to talk to them anyway, don't we, Azzy?
I would like to, for sure. Just there, I think I'm gonna die.
Hmm.
Nothing. As he will stand up and stretch his probably now very well rested limbs
His
and
rippling
make for.
muscles. I'm sorry, what? Continue.
Don't get any ideas, old lady.
Nope.
Grandma Talia is very frisky in the morning. Holly writes this down next to the little stick figure drawing of Talia.
Oh, if everybody is waking up and still hasn't put on all of their clothing and armor, Talia's probably looking at most of them. Very frisky in the morning. She's a morning person.
If as he notes that, then he walks around shirtless.
Honestly, I thought he was going to say pantsless for a moment there, but no. I have gotten my stuff already on, and I am good to go.
As he actually doesn't put his armor on today. He's wearing his basic traveler's clothes. As he walks to the or exits the room to go to the house of oh god, don't tell me his name. Shit.
I mean, I don't know any of these people's names.
I think it was
So
Mustachio.
Marciano.
Yeah.
Mustachio.
Yeah, it works. And I knock on the door.
And the door opens. Marciano is there, welcomes you in on this morning. Please enter.
As he takes a step in across the threshold, kind of smiles. So, Marciano, and I take it everybody else is still here too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ah.
Well, I actually... Are you talking everybody else as in, like, the rest of the village or the rest of the party?
The rest of the village.
Okay, yeah, because Talia's definitely staying back at their house for a minute.
He kind of scans the room and makes it a point to make eye contact with everybody in the room, and kind of speaks up a little bit. Says, "So the Shrine of Umberlee is a dangerous way to go. I'm not going to belittle your faith if that's what you choose to believe. However, you can see what it's given you. There are better alternatives, and I would like to recommend one to you."
Very well. What would you rather us pray about and to?
Well, if you want to stay in the realm of the ocean, or near the realm of the ocean, I would recommend Valkyr. He is a very benevolent god. Sailors in particular usually pray to him, and he's not as fickle as your dear Umberlee. That is to say that should you not offer something to him, he was not going to send a group of Sahagin to wipe you out. Or should Sahagin arrive, he's not going to ignore your pleas for help. That being said, if you choose to keep this Shrine of Umberlee, I wish you the best of luck. However, Valkyr will look out for you much better. And I'd also like to offer this to you. And as he pulls out a few sheaves of paper with drawings of the cave map that he worked on last night, in relatively fine detail, as well as the coastal area. And he gives it to them, and he points to specifically the northwest and northern exits, or what would be exits. And he says, I can only assume that these lead out. I did not actually explore them myself. However, nothing further came for us. And I won't go into too much detail telling you what we encountered in there. But should your little village decide to grow and prosper, it would behoove you to take advantage of this cave system in some way. I don't know, as a sanctuary. And if you're looking to bury the deceased, those whose bodies you did not find, you will find them here. Although, Marciano, I would warn you that you'll need to have a stomach to do so. He points to the southernmost area of the cave. We found several dead bodies here, their heads mounted on pikes. If you care for them,
He solemnly kind of nods grimly.
if you care for them, you'll bury them before they come after you. Because now you know. With that, I'd like to reiterate my statement when I first got here. Maybe you should make a trip to Leyland and, ask for some aid in rebuilding some livestock, some aid in construction, because most of these houses have been, well, I don't need to go into detail. Take a trip there and do yourself a favor.
We certainly shall. There is much wisdom to be gained from that, for sure.
Well then, is there anything we can tell our contractor about this task being completed, or are you going to give us our payout?
She already has the money, so she'll be able to pay you upon return. I would give it to you here if I still had it, but I was concerned it may have been lost in the shuffle if things had come to too much worse fates.
You're a smart man. Take care of these people.
I will do so.
As he bows to everybody in the room and then walks out and goes back to the house that they were in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as he's gone ahead and doing that, I've decided to start cleaning things up so that we're ready to go. When all the others are, making sure all our stuff is ready, making sure the horses are ready to go, and that all our materials are packed in the wagon that we have and things like that.
Gotcha. Understood. Very well. Anyone else have any other morning rituals or things they wish to do here prior to your departure?
I am fervently insisting to Talia that touching other people's gear is bad luck.
Big disagree, but all right. If you don't want me to touch yours, that's fine. I will not clean yours, but I definitely offer to clean everybody else's. And I take as a suggestion of not donning our armor during our trip to this next adventuring site very seriously, because exhaustion can be a very big problem. And given the course of the last fight, I think we should play it safe.
As he just needs to do maintenance on his gear as well. And since we should go to Leyland first, report our findings, and make sure that Marciano follows through. Or at least that I forgot her name, the copper-haired girl is aware of the situation up here and that it has been dealt with, and that if she can spare guards to come up here to,
Oh, yeah. Griselda?
Yes.
yeah, Griselda, the copper-haired girl. I just remember that she had copper hair. Anyway, and that is Azzy's suggestion if we're looking for suggestions on where to go next. A beach to Dreadnought isn't going to go anywhere.
Agreed.
True. Yeah, returning to Leyland for at least a night's rest and a good solid inn, maybe, would probably be a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
We should also be sure to look for any restocking on potions.
Yes, we will need to do that as well.
And
Or
maybe
buying
pick
them
up
in the
a
first
fifth.
place.
I give her a look and I just open like a part of my cloak so that she can see I have a bunch of potions strung up there.
What are you buying?
And I don't mean to sound rude to everybody else, but so far we've been operating as a group of 5, and if we could pick up a 5th in Leyland, that'd be great.
It would, but we'll have to see if anything's biting.
Well, there's adventurers everywhere. We just have to prod them in the right way.
There is that.
True, and I believe our former employers in Neverwinter did send several waves of adventurers up to down to Leyland before us, so there should be plenty of work-starved waifs running around.
On top of that, that Shellback Inn, or whatever the fuck it was called, they owe me a keg of their finest.
Yeah. Umber Hulk in.
Yeah, see, you know what it is.
You mean Amber Hulk?
Pretty sure
I
it's
mean,
Umber Hulk.
Ember Hug?
Yeah, the lumber hug.
No.
The lumber hoagie. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Delicious.
set back there.
That's what I said,
Solid.
the slumber party.
Oh yeah, I will take you up on your offer if you're willing to clean some of our weapons, and I place my greatsword by her.
I'd say we give ourselves an hour before we hit the road. It doesn't take
Mhm.
all day to get to Leyland, if I remember correctly.
No,
Nope.
shouldn't take too long.
Great.
Is everything all handled with Marciano and them?
I made my suggestions, gave him what I hope was decent wisdom, and I believe they are set.
Well, the only thing we can do now is wait and see if they actually listen to your advice.
Well, that's kind of the point of going to Leyland. We don't want to give them the choice to listen to our advice. We want to give them. We want to tell as many people as we can of our success. Make sure that as many people as we can follow up on our success. I mean, come on, having a whole cave system to yourself, I don't know about you, but that seems like an excellent way to hide from the elements should a storm rolled through, hide from bandits, you could set traps in there. Fuck, man, there's all kinds of things you could do with cave system. I mean, I'm trying to keep it clean, no smuggling, but whatever. I ain't gonna say I haven't done it.
We'll have to wait and see what they decide. Anyway, everything's all set up and the wagons are good to go, so whenever we're ready, we can head out.
He grabs his pack of armor and walks outside and hitches his horse to the wagon so that way he can ride on the wagon and polish his armor, clean it off of all the fucking nasty fish nasties.
Fish nasties.
I'm going to talk to all the horses and just let them know what the plan is, what we're doing, where we're going, that they're all looking very pretty today.
Storm will spit on you. Careful the way you talk to him.
Is it the horse or a llama?
I ask myself that every time I get on and he spits.
No,
So.
where I'm from, we had alpacas.
That's disgusting. Those are disgusting. Their fur is really warm though, and soft.
To be fair, your hips ain't gonna take much of a horse either.
Let me show you what those hips can do, girl.
I just read that. It's like, horseback riding ain't exactly kosher for them hips either.
Well,
Come on,
it'd
I'll
probably
make
be
you a
worse for
throne
her
of
back,
blankets.
but given that she is riding her trusty old nag and has an extremely well-worn saddle, I think she's probably fine in terms of comfort. After all, she can strap her legs to the horse quite well.
Giddy up.
Indeed.
No. Azzy will throw his shit in the back of the wagon and then go grab Talia's, so that way the old lady doesn't have to carry too much of a load.
Fair enough.
If we're good, let's go.
Also, sorry if I don't speak up immediately if someone targets me with questions and whatnot. I'm kind of eating a snack right now.
No problem.
You shouldn't be eating yourself, that's weird. Ooh! Yeah, I said it.
So this is what happens when a descaled dragon leaves the party. Apparently, the attentions just get turned.
Holly is very upset by this, by the way. She's very upset at Argo leaving and her not getting a chance to see Argo grow her scales back.
If I notice this, I will make a note. It's like, Argo most definitely was not Dragonborn. Argo was an elf.
You don't know? Let her believe. Let her believe.
Argo is just a skinnier dragon.
Apparently, a voice from above has overruled the sensible ones. So there.
All right.
All right.
Everyone hitches up and gets saddled in and or wagoned in. And you begin your exodus from the village.
Junie got an ass like a wagon. Oh.
Was that supposed to mean that you sit on it?
Means
Or
I
the-
crawl inside. Oh.
Oh, okay.
I'll be bumping and grinding tonight.
Take me for a ride, big boy. Sorry, I don't know where this is coming from.
I mean, I think we all know where it's coming from, but that's fine. All right, so let me get my magic crayon/pen pointer out here for a second. Having successfully secured the village once more, down on the coast, you begin the journey back to the road, riding along the slightly worn and almost actual full trail that leads back out to the high road. Nothing too crazed or ridiculous happens on your short transit along the road trail to the actual road. You don't see a single soul. There's not much in the way of actual happenings on the road. It's just some random wildlife that scurry out of your path as they hear you coming. Making your way to the road, you kind of slightly rejoin civilization as you start to see the signs of commerce moving north and south, up and down the road. And as you turn south yourself to head back to Leyland to collect your well-earned reward and to seek some comforts and an additional companion. The ride takes you probably about 3-4 hours at most, mostly because you're not moving with any kind of alarm or necessary drive. You know you're going a short distance and that you're preoccupied with other things during the journey as well. So you arrive back in Leyland shortly after midday, and you pull up to the gates and get you back in Leyland.
Umber Hulks.
And there we are. So, upon arrival, what would you like to do? Would you like to directly go to Griselda at the square and try to settle up? Do you want to tend to animals
Yes,
and
give me
unpack?
my damn money. I almost
Okay.
died.
All right. Well, Talia can go to the town square as he's gonna go to the Umber Hulks Inn.
I'll head with Talia to go talk with Griselda.
Okay.
I would like to try to find some more potions.
Okay. You're going to need to go to the post for that. Or the shrine. You can go to Lathander Shrine as well if you want.
No, not there.
Okay.
Sassy.
All right, so we will begin with Talia and Koval heading back to the town square and looking to meet up with Griselda. Upon arrival in the square, you see Griselda standing next to the message board, or the quest board, as I'll call it. Basically having a brief discussion with a individual standing there, talking about potential things and happenings and jobs that need to be done. So you approach and find the conversation in the middle of discussion. Well, I'm sure that they would love your help, but there's already a group that's going to be seeking that ship. If you want to go, I'm sure they've got a day ahead of you, maybe. Unless they decided to stop early and come back, potentially. But they took 2 quests at a time, so definitely professionals.
Thank you for the information regarding the ship, ma'am. And for the tip about the other group.
I'm sure that you're speaking of us, Griselda.
Oh, goodness, yes. I was indeed. Are you back already?
From one of them, yes. We just got done dealing with the issue the farmers had.
Ooh. What kind of trouble did that become?
One you were slightly familiar with, if not just a bigger and bipedal iteration of it. Sahagin.
Those feasts. Those beasts of the sea.
It turns out they were beset by some, and unfortunately not all the villagers made it, but a good number of them did.
Well, saving some is better than none.
They should be fine. We did encourage them to seek you out, and we would like to ask you to send a couple of the guards over there to speak with them and encourage a more open communication with them.
I will make sure that I dispatch some individuals to ride up and take a look, see if they can do some securing of the land and watch over things as we get them back on their feet.
Any carpenters or workers you could spare would not go remiss as well. They are in need of repairs and materials for building a new shrine to the Valkyria? Or
Valkyr.
Valkyr, yeah.
Versus their current patron, which they had bet their hopes on.
All right, very well. We will be sure to send aid to them for whatever they require.
Thank you. As for the other matter, we have not handled it yet, but as I look over at the person she's talking with, and Junior Avril, tell me what I see.
I think, Avril, you can describe yourself well enough, so go right ahead and tell them who you are and who you look like.
I'm just pulling up the description real quick to make sure I don't get it wrong. You see a rather tall person with skin that's paler than probably healthy, long black hair, a thick beard. He's bright blue eyes. In darker scale mail with the symbol of Kalembor across the chest and a warhammer on his back. He's very tall.
What was that? Sorry, I didn't catch it.
Which at the end, I
Yes.
just
He's
he
very
was
tall.
Like
That
taller
is-
than Nokris tall?
7.5 feet tall.
Yes. The short answer is yes, taller than Nokristal.
The
Yes.
short answer.
I believe you are taller than me by a good couple of inches. If not close to 5. Well, one of our numbers has decided she is better spent her time back in Neverwinter developing her craft after her experience with things. So, we are looking for someone to replenish her space, so to speak. What brings you to Leyland as I look him over? And what is your name?
I go by Calorie, for those that use names. I've come this way because I've heard rumors of a ship, or of a dreadnought, and that worries me. I was coming to investigate and see if I would need to send word elsewhere, or if I could find a group to assist to deal with the issue.
Well, it looks like we are in need of another compatriot, and we are investigating the Dreadnought as well after we take our rest here for the evening. You are welcome to join us if you would like. And you said you were 7.5 feet tall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 6'10", so you are well taller than me.
Y'all are way too damn tall.
This is what happens when you get bred from cow and dragon.
I'd give a slight bow and say I'd be honored to come along with you on this investigation.
Well, that's a good calorie. My name is Nokris Vergladian. This is Talia. I don't know
She's
your
just-
last name.
No need. We're good for now. Anyways, if you're going to accompany us, you should probably meet the rest of the group. In the meantime, did we claim our reward for assisting the village? Because if I haven't said it enough times already, I almost died. Pay me!
So Griselda, hearing this conversational piece, notes and turns to go into the little town hall shed shack thing that they've kind of built for her. She comes back out with a little coin purse, let's call it, to deliver unto you your spoils of victory.
Yeah. What are those spoils? Is it money? Drugs? Women?
Your pick, babe.
So from the successful completion of this quest, you receive the bounty of 750 gold pieces. Sorry, I was trying to suppress a burp because I didn't want to let that rip into the microphone.
Rip into me, big boy.
Shit. That thirst tonight, damn.
Don't worry,
Every
Talia, you'll
night?
get yours. At least I'm consistent.
750 amongst the four of us.
Yeah, 750 split.
That is 187 gold pieces and 5 silver. As everybody rapidly tries to figure out how to add that into their equipment list again.
Oh,
Nope.
I
I
was
just clicked the
getting
little
water.
gold button.
And in the
Alright.
meantime, yes, if introductions are done, I would like to get this Dreadnought investigated as soon as possible. I don't like it when magical, or at least apparently magical, things run rampant.
Griselda, thank you. We'll take our leave now so that we can get ready to go and deal with the Dreadnought.
Very well.
Oh, and one more thing, Miss Griselda. In reference to the village up north. By the way, what was the village's name?
It's called Leyland Point, but
Leyland,
basically it's
yes.
not really its own village so much as it's just like a community that's kind of set up shop to do farming and agriculture and seafaring.
In reference to Leyland Point, I would highly recommend sending a letter to Neverwinter and requesting the presence of at least a novice or perhaps an acolyte of Valkyr as soon as possible. I've bore witness to Umberlee's schemes a few times, unfortunately, and she has her way of grasping hold of those who go astray. So a shepherd would be good in this case.
She nods her head and lets you know that she will send a dispatch with today's riders as they leave.
Wonderful. And as always, you can find us over at the Overhulk Show.
Very well. All right, so the three of you leave the square and begin heading your way to the inn, unless you have any other detours you would like.
There's a local blacksmith here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Talia, I take it you'll be fine to get back to the Umber Hulk shell on your own?
Yes, I do need to make a detour to purchase some potions, though.
Alright. I need to make a detour as well. Calry, you're welcome to come with either one of us. I'm heading to the blacksmith. I need to see if I can get some repairs and things made for my armor and items.
Follow along with you then, sir.
Alright. We will meet you back there then, Talia.
Yep.
All right. So you split up and head in different directions here. And then we have Holly, who is currently searching for potions among the post.
I'm just gonna walk in and ask the nearest person if they have any potions in stock.
The individual who is greeting you is, oh, yes, we sell potions. You probably will want to speak with Jack, though. He'll likely be the one to give you the best deal possible.
And where would I find this Jack?
He points over his shoulder towards the desk/counter that is off to the right-hand side in the door, where you see a man smiling and looking at his wares, waiting for prospective customers to come through and require all manner of equipment.
Okay. I'm gonna approach him and start kind of eyeing what he's looking at. Is there anything interesting?
He has standard gear for adventuring, effectively. Things that would have been brought into the town for all of the various quests and related items that are needed to be done. It's kind of like a general store of sorts.
Stuff for like level 1 adventurers.
Yes and no. I mean, there's probably some other stuff you'd find among it too, but they definitely are have all manner of items you could potentially think of that would be required for any camping, outdoorsmanship, questing, climbing, venturing, swimming, etc.
Okay. Good morning, my friend. I was told to come see you about some potions.
Ah, lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes, potions, potions, potions. How many would you require?
How many do you have?
Oh, let's just say I have plenty.
Are any of them greater healing potions?
I'm sure if I rubbed a couple together, they might be, but at this point in time, no. He doesn't actually have any greater healing potions.
Okay, I figured. Okay, how about I take 3 normal healing potions off of you and see what else you have in here.
Very well. That will be 14 gold pieces.
Are there any like weapons or armor that would be improvements for me, or any interesting accessories?
Not particularly. Most of the stuff they have here is just kind of basic equipment and gear. They don't really have anything that would be an improvement upon what you've already got. And as far as odds and ends, knickknacks, and accessories, they don't really have too much that is beyond the kind of like the norm, which you would find at most places.
Okay, I'm gonna pull out my chunk of bioluminescent coral, and I'm gonna plop it down and ask him how much he thinks it would be worth.
My. He eyes and studies it, kind of rolling it over in his hand a little bit and kind of looking at its glow, trying to make some kind of assumptions or determinations.
I found it in a cave that was deep underground, and there were lots of angry fishmen, and they got really, really angry when I tried to take it. So I took a huge chunk of it, and we fought them all off, and we killed them, and this is what I have.
I see. Well, could definitely purchase it from you, but what price would I pay? He ponders for a moment, kind of thinking, giving a little emphasis on the theatrics of his over-excessive thought. Well, I suppose if I had to pay anything, it probably would be maybe worth about 2 silver pieces a pound. It's pretty much your standard bioluminescent coral found along the coastline here, so it's really not that particularly interesting. But the story is quite good. I enjoy that.
Holly pretends to think about it for a minute, and she takes her coral back and sticks it back in her bag. I think I'll hold on to it for a little longer.
Very well, very well.
Hold on, I'm looking through my bag. And she goes, how about this? And she slaps down the wedding band.
Ooh, well. He eyes it again, kind of looking it over. This I could purchase for probably, let's call it 44 gold pieces.
Done.
He pays up and takes the ring.
Okay, and with my business done, I will take my gold and I will I guess I'll head back to the inn because that's where I heard everybody was going. So, actually, I kind of want to head to the blacksmith shop with the others.
Very well. You can head to the blacksmith shop. That's totally fine.
But right as she is exiting, that's when Talia walks in.
Grandma!
Yeah, Talia just kind of turns, looks at Holly, gives her a scowl with like half-shut eyes, points, shoves her finger in her face, and says, "I'm not that old,"
I never called you old.
said Grandma. And just
You
walks
are
right
old enough
past
to
her.
be my grandmother.
Then just walks right past her to go right up to the counter.
I'm gonna yell, he doesn't have anything good, before I just head towards the blacksmith shop.
Well, pay the cat no mind. What can I help you with?
What a fucking prick.
I believe the word you're looking for, dear shopkeeper, is tabaxi, not cat. The cat has four
Yes,
legs
yes,
and
yes,
runs
yes.
around between your legs.
Details. What is it that I can help you with?
Well, do you want my business, or are you going to correctly state the name of my friend's species?
Okay, fine, the tabaxi.
Thank you.
She's no longer here.
I need 10 healing potions, and if you have anything that can increase my strength as she holds up her arm, like in the classic like flex muscle pose, and then you just see like the grandma droop happen real slow, I'll take that as well.
Very well. I have for you the healing potions, yes. Nothing else, though. I can't help with that. I sell general goods. I am not, unfortunately, a miracle worker. The potions will come to 59 gold pieces.
I'm not sure that I enjoy bargaining with the racist, so take your damn coins, as she fishes everything out of her bag of holding and just slaps down 5 very neat piles of 10, and then just drops the last 9.
Very well. Have a good day.
She sticks her finger up in the air behind her. Muttering under her breath, I don't understand how you can be racist in a world such as this.
I think he's an elf, so that helps.
That doesn't help. That really doesn't help.
No, it does not.
No,
Talia, yeah, Talia's definitely going back to the inn.
Very well. So, you find yourselves at the blacksmith shop, suddenly bumping in to a couple others as you are now arriving, Koval and Kalri.
I'm bumping into them?
Yes. I mean, you were going there, weren't you? So, I mean...
Yeah, well, I don't know if you were talking to me. You didn't specifically say Holly, or if you did, I must have zoned it out.
No, I
No,
didn't.
he didn't.
Okay. Okay, so as I'm approaching, I'm eating pocket bacon. And I immediately stop in my tracks and start like choking on my bacon. just looking at these two in front of me. Does it appear that it appears that they're like conversing and talking to each other, right?
Yeah, as they're, you know, basically walking, they're making conversation.
So, Calorie, what do you specialize in?
I work the trades of a healer and can also work some magics if needed. When helping out in villages, I tended to help those who were injured and then find out if there was any bandits or such in the area to deal with.
Oh, that will definitely be helpful since we were late on that the last time we took to task.
We almost died.
We don't. He doesn't need to know that. Do I hear someone choking and sputtering behind me?
Absolutely.
You do.
I turn around. Oh, hi, Holly.
Noctis, who is your friend? Who is this?
This is Calorie. He was an adventurer looking to look into the Dreadnought, and we caught him when he was talking with Griselda. I offered, since we are down a number, I offered him a spot to help us if he was so willing, and he seems to have taken such a course with us.
Where are you from? What do you do? That's really cool armor you have. Are you part cow? Can I touch your ears?
This is
Why
normal.
are you so tall?
I recommend answering the questions as best as you can in succinct a possible way as possible.
I am a cleric. I am originally from a village near the Chandlewood. Thank you for the compliment to my armor. I'd rather you not touch my ears. And I don't see myself as tall, just as most being short.
Dude, you're freaking tall. You're taller than me. As
Holly's
I
just,
look up at him, it's like,
Holly's
dude, you're
just
tall.
staring at Calorie in wonder, eating her fucking bacon.
As he's still taller than all of you laying down, just saying.
God damn it.
And where did we find such a handsome creature, Noctis?
We found him conversing with Griselda when me and Talia went to pick up our reward for dealing with the problem the farmers had. Speaking of which, I hand her share.
Oh, thank you. And I just kind of tuck it away and continue to stare at this marvelous creature in front of me.
Well, it looks like we're here. If either of you have business with the blacksmith as well, be sure to take care of it. I'll be right back, and I head inside.
I'm gonna head inside and start looking for anything that seems interesting.
I just make my way over to the smithy and get one of their attention.
Ah, yes, sir. What can I do?
I am heading out in the morning, and I was hoping that you could give my armor and my weapon a good once-over and repair any minor dents and give it a nice cleaning up if you could.
Certainly, certainly. Could have it ready by first light, no problem.
Thank you.
Holly looks down at her own bloodied, kind of battered looking armor and axe and just kind of eyes these people.
How much would it cost?
Cleaning is 5 silver. But to do the once over and make sure everything's fit, let's call it 2 gold.
So, I will hand him 5 gold in total. Keep the change, make sure it's just well put together and cleaned.
He nods graciously. Oh, by all means, it will be ready for you in top shape.
Thank you. And I leave my sword with him as well, since I'm including that with... Because I imagine that's included too, right, John?
Correct.
Okay. And I leave that with him as well. Thank you. I'll be by first thing in the morning to pick them up.
Very well. They'll be ready.
Is there anything that catches my eye while I'm looking around in here before I step out, or?
Let me look at his offerings here. 1 second. I have to roll against his table to see if there's anything interesting.
No problem.
So among his things, you don't see a whole lot that really jumps out or looks excessively interesting, except you do see a shield that is of particularly good make.
I'll pick it up and ask him, what can you tell me about this shield?
Oh, that shield I bought from a traveler coming through. Probably 3 fortnights ago, give or take, I'd say. As much as I can tell you, it appears that it was some shield, maybe of their order. I can't really be certain, but it's quite good. It's quite strong, very well done. Craftsmanship is excellent, and I'm sure it would defend against plenty of a mighty blow.
Do I recognize the order?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. I don't have anything that would help me with that. I might have a friend who would be interested in it. I'll send him your way.
Very well.
It is of nice quality, to be sure.
He nods.
I am not much of the shield variety, I am afraid.
Very well understood. That's definitely not the style for everyone.
Thank you, though. And Holly, I will meet you back at the Umber Hulk's shell, and unless you want us to wait for you.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything interesting here, so I will go with you. And don't worry, I will protect you after you leave your sword here with these people. And she does kind of these like awkward, not graceful at all, pseudo monk moves.
I look forward to it. I will need the extra help for my weapon will be in need of repairs, so I appreciate
Someone
it.
have to keep Azzy off of you.
Yes, the man can be very gropey or handsy.
I've never touched you in my life.
I know.
I don't even know who that is, officer!
The blacksmith just kind of returns back to what he was working on, kind of being like, this sounds like something I don't want to get involved in.
I kind of look at him. I do the little like finger eye thing at him.
Calry, do you need anything here?
I walk up and see if they have any hand axes available.
Yes. Yes, we have hand axes for sale.
I'm looking to purchase 2.
2 hand axes. Very well. Let me just see if I have them listed in his table anywhere. If I'm just going to look them up in the book.
The
You
book
guys,
has
I gotta.
5 gold each.
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt real quick. I was petting my cat, Nairi, and she flung her tail up and was mooning Jackie, and she picked up the laser pointer. I was like, "You think I can keep your butthole warm?" I'm sorry.
So today we learned that laser pointers can generate enough heat to focus upon apparently a cat's butthole.
Keep it nice and warm.
The more you know.
Dun, 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 dun.
Sorry, please continue our D&D session.
Yes, that is correct. Avril, you can purchase those for 5. They're not of any special quality or anything. They're simply your standard run-of-the-mill hand axes.
I thank him and give him a slight bow, then turn back towards Knockers and let him know I'm good to go if he is.
Well, let's go then.
All right. So the 3 of you depart. Begin making your way back to the inn. The Shaleback Mountain Inn. All right. So Azzy is now arriving at the inn, having made some detours of his own. Talia, I believe, was also heading then to the inn.
Yep.
So Talia is arriving behind Azzy, but nonetheless arriving at the same time, give or take. And the other 3 bring up the rear by a couple minutes.
As he barges in and looks for the bartender who dealt with him last time, the one he asked to get his finest ale in.
You find him.
Gone for like 2 days.
Hey, you
Hey,
find
brother.
him.
Hey, brother, it's me again. Did you get the stuff?
Well, you're in luck. I was able to get it. It took a day's travel coming north from Neverwinter, but here it is. Just came off the barge late this morning.
Amazing. As he grabs one of the mugs and fills a cup of it and downs it. How much for it? Did I already pay you? I don't remember how I paid you. Did I pay him already? Keen mind. Did I pay him already?
To be honest, I can't remember if you paid him or not. But let's just say that you did, because I want to say you left the money there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as he thanks the gentleman, hoists this keg up, or barrel rather, I guess it is at this point, and hoists it up over his shoulder and begins carrying it back to the wagon for proper storage.
Proper storage, okay.
So as I walk out, what's up, Grandma?
As your college Chadness with a keg on shoulder and a mug in hand.
I don't need your judgment, John. I just need your support, okay? I clearly have a fucking problem. Need to go ahead and add that to Azzy's traits is an alcoholic. So yeah, I guess I get it to the wagon, and then I make my way back and hop inside and start buying rounds for everybody.
So basically, you bought a keg, you sampled it, you took it outside, and you put it in the wagon. Now you're going back inside to drink more? You're not going to drink the keg you started?
No, that's for travel.
Okay, silly me.
That's the travel you need.
Yeah, silly me. I didn't know that we needed a travel keg for our adventures, but now I do. So now that that's out of the way, I understand.
Look, as he can't get drunk every night if he doesn't have a keg.
My, how things have escalated.
That they have.
You still only need a flask.
I'm out of the good stuff at this point.
So you go back inside and begin buying rounds for the inhabitants.
Until I see fucking Nokris walk in with tall, dark, and handsome. Actually, I guess it's tall, white, and like alabaster and handsome.
Yeah, that's way too much of a mouthful.
It's very much a mouthful.
Tall cow and tall cow and
Tall with a cowlick and handsome.
Tall, moo, and handsome.
tall, moo, and handsome. That's it. Thank
Holly
you, Talia.
is
I
still
needed that.
kind of like circle hopping around Nokris, doing like weird ninja monk poses at anybody that comes near him. The entire way through town. Anybody who came within like 20 feet of him.
Well, I do appreciate the enthusiasm. I don't think we need to scare every inhabitant away. I think I do that well enough on my own.
Just snatch her up by her scruff, man. Put her in a bag.
Fabulous.
I do not want to see a fight between you two. I do not want to have to pay that goddamn bill for the freaking building we wreck.
Are they always like this?
Are they what?
Are they always this excitable?
Yes.
Well, somebody's got to keep us alive. And Grandma ain't doing it.
As a
Hmm.
The protection order goes against you too, cowboy. And she does the little dance.
This is Calorie. He will be joining us and replacing our lost number, if you will.
Wow, that was fast. I'm not gonna lie. I expected to be here for a minute at least, scouting out, but we're happy to have you, Calorie. Welcome aboard. They tell you about our last adventure?
Something about near death for the outer one?
Yeah, how do you like boats?
I've not had much experience with them, but they're fine enough as are. Dreadnoughts, on the other hand, they were things that should be destroyed wherever found.
Ah, so you do know what we're doing next. Excellent.
He was talking with Griselda when we found him, hence why it was more opportune to take the presented blue moon, if you will.
The one in the know. Excellent. Well, what's your profession then? I see you have a couple hand axes in your belt. You aren't a lumberjack, I hope.
I'm a cleric of Kalambor.
Oh, another cleric. Nice. Well, we welcome you. Here. I press a mug of the good stuff into his arms.
He drinks it.
If you're as hardy as you look, maybe somebody here can finally drink me under the table.
I gave Calorie a look of, don't do it.
Oh, come on. I'm gonna start calling you Grandpa too. You're no fun.
You think that, but last time I recall, I nearly blew off your eyelids and made your hearing go deaf.
Oh, good times using me as a human turret stand.
I saw the shitting grin on your face. You wanted to go for round two.
It was pretty cool, not gonna lie. Well, what's the plan then?
Well, I do like Talia's idea of resting up for this evening so then we can head to the Umber Hulk tomorrow and maybe take this time to see if the town has heard anything since our absence in regards to it, since we are at a tavern and taverns do like their gossip.
Sure. And you know what the best thing for gossip is?
Booze.
Here's one for you, big boy.
I'd gladly take the mug if he's offering one.
Oh, come on. The moment you entered the door.
So,
Well, I guess with that, we should split up and start trying to get patrons drunk so that way we can, learn some things, hopefully, maybe.
Learn what things exactly? We
Any
already
new
have a
news?
job.
Info about the area where the ship was crashed.
That was the goal, huh?
Well, if you want to do that as fast as possible, I have a solution. So, I'm assuming we're all in the common room getting prepared for rip-roaring drunkenness at the moment, so Talia will fish into her coin pouch, which is currently inside the bag of holding, so if her hand disappears for a suspiciously long time, don't worry about it.
I give Azzy his share as well as we sit down.
And she will hold out a gold piece above her head, and then she will rapidly smack her armor so that it makes a very loud noise. Attention, attention, everybody inside the tavern. As she waits for things to die down.
What are you doing?
Just watch and learn, young ones. So
You get the attention of most, but not all of them.
if you listen to me, everybody listens to me. There's alcohol to be had. As I
Everyone
pointedly
looks.
look. Yes, thank you, thank you. This here in my hand is a gold piece. And she flicks a second gold piece out from behind it. The first one is to anyone who can tell us about the crashed foreign ship on the shore to the north of here. The second is for anybody who is honest about their stories about the crashed foreign ship to the north of here. And, well, if your information proves valuable, my friend here, as she grabs Azzy and does a very fake friend hug to the side and thumbs at him, he is more than willing to share his brand new cask with you. So, who's first?
She's lying.
So one of your first participants, let's say, in this information gathering session is a somewhat slow-looking brute of a man who appears to be a carpenter or wood shaper. Who comes up? His name's Klug, and he tells you, "I heard that ship up there just crashed in the rocks on its own and didn't have nothing else to do about it. I don't know what all the to-do is, but that's all I heard. It's just a ship on a rock. So where's my drink?"
Give him a drink.
Alright, I pass him a gold coin. Thank you for your time, sir.
He tries to bite the gold coin to make sure it's real, and then goes back and holds it up in the air like a prize for everyone to cheer for him. Then nobody cheers.
Woo! You go, dude.
Klug does a little spinny dance jump into the air as he holds it up in the air and pulls it back to his chest like he just won the biggest treasure of the lifetime.
I call after him. What do you do for a living, Klug?
I cut trees down and I make the planks.
Do you have a good knife on you?
Well, yeah.
Sorry, the accent's getting me.
This is the point where Talia looks at Holly's line of questioning, narrows her eyes again, and is thinking to herself, the tabaxi is asking for a knife. This can't be good.
1 gold piece for a good quality knife.
Okay.
It has to be good quality.
He pulls the knife. And
if
shows
it's
it
that
to you.
quality, my friends and I here, we could be less generous.
Well, it's good quality. It cuts everything.
It's not going to fall apart on the first use.
No.
Are you lying to me?
This handle is good quality wood.
You cut it yourself?
Yeah, of course I did.
Then this shield.
What did you want him to do with the shield?
As he puts his shield out and then says, if it cuts anything, then cut this shield.
You stop him before he tries.
Klug was ready to.
she's gonna carefully stop him. She's gonna offer him a gold piece for his knife.
Oh, very well. You could have the knife, yeah.
All right, Click. Go have another drink on me.
Woo, woo, woo. He
How
kind
much
of
am I out for the drink?
he skips back to his little table he was at with 2 gold pieces, chanting 2 gold piece, 2 gold piece.
Given that we probably just paid this man like 3 months worth of his yearly salary
That's fine.
in like 2 minutes, he's probably gonna waste it all on beer. Anyways, next contestant. I mean, informant.
So no one is immediately forthcoming to come forward and offer more information about the situation. But you do get somebody that does approach eventually, and they're of the town guard. His name is Reginald.
So, Reginald, what do you have for us?
Well, see, I had heard from travelers along the road that particular ship was actually under the control of the gods of the dead. And brought it here on the shores, but that it's been captured by some other deity.
This is the point where Talia becomes both skeptical and very interested. Do you have anything that can possibly verify this? Can you describe the travelers that told you this?
Well, when they were traveling on the road, I couldn't tell much more about them other than they looked like common folk you'd see every day with a cart. But I had to believe them, because it makes the most sense to me. You'd have some ship like that come in here with the gods of the dead. But why would it stay? There's no reason for it to.
What's with the gods ones with a ship?
A lot more than you would ever care to know. As Talia again points at her priestly amulet.
Depends on the god.
Depends on the ship as well. And also, more than likely, the occupants of said ship.
Yes. And what the purpose of the ship is. Because there could be something not so good there, depending on the specific deity in question. Really. Anyways, this may be our most valuable piece of information for the evening. And you're a guardsman, and I can appreciate the ones that keep this town safe. So, take 2 gold pieces.
He nods appreciatively. I thank you. Takes his 2 gold. And goes back to drinking along the bar. And one final individual comes forward to share some knowledge and rumor with you about the ship. It's an older man. Looks to be maybe a fisherman, some kind of seafaring individual based upon the look of his clothing. So, I had heard that Dreadnought had come in. And if I don't know nothing about that, I do know something about that tower. And we best be care in that area because there's many a shoals and the tides do shift quickly. But what you really have to be cautious of is trying to make it to such a location. If they have anything will see you from that height. Next to the tower or from the ship, The ground in the area is very flat. It's very difficult to hide, so if I have to offer any advice, it would be come at it from the north. That'll be your best bet, I think.
Even more so. Are you a fisherman or a sailor by chance? Talia asks as she's taking note of the person's garb.
I've fished these waters for many, many years.
And you live here in Leyland by chance?
I used to live a little farther south, making a small home along the waterways, just north of the swamps, but once the return to Leylands began, I opted to move back in, and set up my shopping here, and go out and ply my trade.
Well then, I will certainly pay you your well-deserved 2 gold, because a safer approach to the area which we wish to investigate is well worth a coin. I think my companions would agree, especially the fellow sailor here, as I point at Azzy. But how would you like to help a village in need while plying your trade as well? Are you particularly attached to the area that you live in?
Well, I mean, yes and no, but it's the shoreline, right? As long as they're still by the water, it's all the same to me.
Yes, actually there's a small community north of Leyland. It's known as Leyland's Point. They had some trouble and several of their villagers died recently, sadly, and they needed some help getting back on their feet. So if you were to go and ply your trade through the village, you could help bring some much needed money and possibly even food, maybe a little more light back into their lives.
Interesting. Well, yes, I guess I could make that part of my routine.
Excellent. Good, good. Here's your 3 gold pieces. You're a good man.
Ah, thank you. Thank you very much.
So at this point, I think Talia is pretty well done with questioning people. If anyone else wants to question more people, because I assume this has taken a significant amount of time to sort through and find 3 worthwhile people to listen to.
I have just been listening to all of this and just taking down notes and information, so I don't have any other questions or things to ask.
Holly got bored about halfway through the second guy, or the third guy, and she started going over and partying with Clug.
I head over to ask that guard if there was any specifics the travelers had mentioned about the gods involved.
So I'll start with the guard first. So you ask the guard if he knows any more about God's involvements. And to that end, he says, well, if it's the gods of the dead, it's probably relating to Merkel is my assumption. I don't know of many others that are this far out on the coast.
Thank you. I put another gold down for the help to confirm that for me.
Well, he appreciatively takes it. And then with Klug, let me see here. All right, Klug is not drunk because he is a champion among men when it comes to that. So you are partying it up with Klug.
Hell yeah.
And he is telling you of the finer science that is cutting down a pine tree. And that if you were to cut it from the wrong side, with the side that's facing the sun, that is, it would fall over and probably hit you in the head.
Okay. I'm just gonna listen to his stories and just keep on drinking. Having a good time. Let him celebrate.
All right, excellent. Anyone else with any other happenstances?
At the moment, no.
Okay, perfect. So Klug's mighty constitution has slipped as the drinking has continued. And he begins regaling you a story in his younger years about one particular oak. The oak that nearly cost him his life.
Was it Professor Oak?
It was not Professor Oak.
The magical tree?
No magic. See, it was over probably 20 miles or so that way over there, and we was cutting it down because the guy owning land at the time had put his little shack up, and he was trying to level it old plain. As you can tell, he's stuttering a little bit of the words as he's now into the drink. So he's like, hey, get that big tree over there. I need to cut that down, and I'm going to need the lumber there. And he's like, oh, all right, I'll get to it, sir. So I'll go over there, my axe, and I'll get him. Well, sun's facing that way. Better be doing it this way. Oh, start swinging my axe. Hey, we got a big chop, and a big chop, and a big chop. And as we start going more and more of the tree, it starts to do a little bending, and then it's thinking about it. Maybe gonna fall over, but it turned back, and it go, oh, it crushed the shack. Oh, the poor shack, it crashed it. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm a dead man. Klug, you best be run. But I didn't. And that,
Sounds like an absolute travesty, Klug.
it was, yes. So that man, he come over to me and said, well, that was not the way that was supposed to go. I said, no, sir, no. And he said, well, better be chopping that down then and make the wood. We gotta make a new shack. Oh, so 4 days later, I've been there making a shack for this man. And he just leaves. Doesn't even stay there. But at least I got to go home. So make sure when you're cutting the oaks, you never cut it in the wrong way. And he gives everyone that knowing nod as he takes a big swig.
I will remember this day forever, Klug. And I show him the journal that I have, and I'm doing a little drawing of him, a little stick figure drawing of him with a little axe and a tree.
Good. Someone will remember it then. Should I be no more, it will be remembered for all time. So meanwhile, everyone else is still drinking and getting drunk, as it's now probably been about 3 or 4 hours of boozing and feasting.
Yeah, I've been eating, not drinking so much, but yeah. I would say, what time of day is it now? Is it evening, I take it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys basically got into town shortly after midday.
Okay.
Then with all of your shopping and everything getting back, probably, like mid-afternoon. And then you've kind of been feasting and drinking your way into the evening, so.
Okay. With that, Nokris is going to go and turn in a little bit early.
Very well.
Seeing Nokris go, or get up to go, Holly's going to turn to Klug and go, watch this. And she's going to drape herself very dramatically across the table. Nokris, I can't find my bed. She's going to act way drunker than she is.
As
I
he
look
will get
over.
up and put his hand up to Noctis. I got you, brother. Go ahead.
Unhand me her.
Klug is not sure what he's saying.
Because you would let this foul beast defoul me?
Do you need help,
Beast.
little one?
As
What
he is
the-
not a foul beast. He may be foul-tempered at times, but he is not a foul
I'm
beast.
gonna show you a foul beast. I hold up a fucking mirror.
Oh no.
I'm gonna chuck my tankard at his head.
I have you grappled. You can't do shit.
As soon as I hear that line, I immediately turn and head upstairs and wait and give it an Emmett Selk wave and just be like, "Goodbye, y'all. I'm going to bed."
Noctis!
Continue to wave as I go and disappear up the stairs.
So, give me a strength check, you two.
A save or just a check?
You can just do a check, just like a D20.
I will
plus
remind
modifier.
you, Kita, if you want to get angry, you will have advantage on strength checks.
I know.
Dang.
Okay. So, Holly is able to smack you in the head with a tankard.
Johnny, you're a dick.
And from that action, some of the inhabitants of the inn kind of take notice and are gonna go quiet for a moment and be like, Is that a fight? Is a fight breaking out?
Oh no. Oh no.
I make my way over them and ask them, what is it that's wrong?
Oh, this is nothing, Gallery. Just me trying to handle a fucking child.
I am not a child.
You throw food like a child,
I didn't throw food.
and that's
at you, now did
alcohol
I?
abuse. How dare you throw a fucking tankard?
I never said there was anything in the tankard.
I'm gonna spit on you.
Do you see how he treats me, Gallery?
As he throws up his
away
hands
your-
and leaves.
What was that?
I will take away your alcohol.
I
As
will
he
take
throws-
away your alcohol.
As he throws up his hands and leaves the bar. Just leaves the inn completely and goes to the wagon. Fucking she cunt. Jesus goddamn Christ.
I'll wink at Klug and be like, I won.
Go nurse my wound in peace.
I wonder if Lesser Restoration would take away your being drunk.
It
As
does
he
say
is
it
far
restores
from drunk.
conditions, huh?
It does mention poisons.
Yeah, after all this ruckus and the long night of questioning and things, Natalia is going to, like, get herself a nice bowl of stew or whatever else the house has. Maybe some tea, because she's fucking old. She doesn't drink that much anymore. And then go the hell to sleep, because, we got a journey ahead of us.
Very well. Seeing as how the booze hound and the booze kitten are split up, I guess maybe that's the end of the party.
No, I'm gonna party a little bit longer with Klug and then I go to bed.
I'll see if Holly needs help getting to her room and then go to my
Yeah. Yes, I do. I need help. I need help.
Go ahead
It's a
and
trap.
roll a Constitution check for me.
Who? Me?
Yes.
Alrighty then.
So you are totally in your element right now. It's almost as if you've been drinking water all night.
Holly knows how to put away the booze.
Mm-hmm.
Klug, however, is fading fast. He kind of mutters himself back awake as he was kind of drifting. Says, 2x, 2x's.
Still gonna feign needing assistance.
Okay, so you're going to feign requiring aid again.
For some reason, I don't know if Koriak is fooled by it, but he does help. Makes her feel better that she made him, that she tricked him and helps her to bed.
All right.
You are very tall, but your ears are so soft. You smell like vanilla.
It helps deal with the smell of the undead.
Ain't nothing that can hide that smell.
Nope, but it
And with
helps.
that, turn in.
All right, very well. Anyone else still conscious and in the inn at this point? I believe everyone else is turned in at this point. If assuming that Azzy's going to sleep in the wagon with his cask, with his keg o' mead.
Don't fucking judge me. Don't say
I'm
that
not judging
so
you.
fucking judgmentally.
Sometimes that's how you got to roll, man.
But yes, as he does stay the night in the wagon.
Okay.
With all of his paper and pens and drawing utensils.
All right, very well. All right, duly noted. Considering that you turned in and didn't stay up with all these crazy youngins getting drunk and being feisty, it definitely makes sense that you would have the additional time to store your spells and rest and to get them back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Grandma turns in early for a fucking reason. She's also a priest of Mistra, so she has to perform her rites. So like that's kind of a nighttime thing, given that the current incarnation of Mistra was once a mortal human named Midnight. There's a reason behind the rituals. Anyways, back to you, Tom.
Oh, right. So yeah, basically everybody's turned in and is going to sleep. And it is next day. Everyone wakes to find that the weather today is a little stormy. It's not quite raining just yet, but you can see the weather clouds are out over the waves, and they are not looking the best, but has not yet begun to rain in your vicinity.
So I get up and I start to head for the blacksmith immediately. If I see any of the others already awake, I'll just mention to them I'll be back in a few moments. I need
Very
to
well.
head to the blacksmith.
I'm gonna grab some breakfast and kind of keep an eye out for knockers coming back.
Noted. All right, so Nokris, you get to the blacksmith. And as promised, he has all of your gear in great condition and waiting for you, ready to go by first light.
I put it on, I give it a few test pounds, and I swing my sword to see if anything feels off in its weight. If not, I nod and I thank him. Thank you.
Ah, yes, my pleasure.
If you will be back, I'm sure, so I will gladly have need of your services again.
Very well, we're always here.
Thank you. And with that, I head out, and then before I head back to the inn, I head over to the postmaster, and I, just like the last time I was here, I have him deliver a note with a larger sum of gold to the same address I did last time, for my younger sister's education, and I have him deliver a missive of 300 gold.
All right, noted.
No real note this time, just an item to say what it's for, delivered to the same person, etc. And I will also ask him, has anyone been through town as of late, or is there any news to the south of a man named Selleck?
Nothing that's crossed my ears as of yet, but doesn't mean that it's not out there coming our way.
Thank you. Have a good day. Hopefully the weather holds out for you and your workers.
Yes, thank you. Hopefully the weather is well and treats you well as also.
I give him a curt nod and I head out, and I head back to the Umberhulk's shell.
All right, making your way back home to the inn. You find a particular tabaxi, and your other companions are stirring and making their mornings bright this fine and stormy day.
Morning.
I try to catch Nokris before he kind of joins the entire group and just kind of pat the table in front of me.
I sit down.
I'll give him another plate of breakfast that I saved for him, and just kind of give him a once over. Looks like they did pretty well with your armor, no?
Yep, they did. It's good work, and it's still balanced well, so I don't see any real problems with it. Thank you for the food. You're up earlier than I would have expected, as I give her a sly smile.
All these kinds of parties and these kinds of drinks don't exactly, well, let's just say we do them bigger back home.
So I've noticed.
I kind of laugh and get a little bit more serious and kind of, give him another once over. But how are you doing, my friend? You seem to be going off more on your own these days. You seem a little down, almost.
Wound, bound. I have things I need to take care of, and any chance I have for news of those things I try and keep in touch with. Unfortunately, nothing has kind of popped up as of late, but suffice to say, I like to keep my wits about me.
Well, if there's anything that any of us can do, I'm sure, the group would be more than happy to help you.
And I do appreciate it, so thank you. But enough about me. What about you? I notice you've taken to writing on almost every major event that we do, and the last time that you were out, you definitely put your writing somewhere, though I don't know who you delivered them to.
Oh, no us tabaxis. We just love our stories. Some more than others.
It's always good to want to know stories and to write them down.
The next time I go and take care of some business, I will show you where my stories go and who listens to them.
I would
But
be honored.
for now, that is a tale for another time. Come, let us join our friends. I think everybody's starting to wake up. I think Klug is still over in the corner, but he hasn't moved since I got down here.
You drank him under the table a lot, from what I could still hear when I had gone to bed.
My fault, he couldn't hold his liquor.
You
Kind of gives him
certainly.
a smile and finishes off a scrap for breakfast and starts heading back to the others.
I finished my breakfast and headed in as well.
It's because he holds an axe, not liquor.
So is everyone awake now, I take it?
Yep, everybody should be awake now. At least present in the inn, supping in their morning.
Not Azzy.
Real quick, how many days has it been since we did the whole sea cave thing?
Since you did the sea cave thing, it's
Mhm.
been there was one full day yesterday, and now this is the second day after.
Okay. It took us less than a day to get there and to come back. from
Yeah,
there.
the trip
Yes.
to that location is like 3 hours.
So, because there was like the long rest afterwards, so then like a few hours south the next day, so 2 days.
Yes, give or take. If I don't notice Azzy at the table eating, I will go out. I will grumble a little bit and I'll stand up. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get him. And I head out to the wagon.
As he's eating his own meal and prepping everything to get ready to go for the day.
Oh, good. You are awake. I thought you were still asleep.
Yeah, I only had 2 mugs last night, man.
Fair. I didn't know how much you had after you went out.
Yeah. Well, there's not exactly much out here, and this is for travel. He pats his keg.
Fair enough. Are we good to go?
Just a few more things to wrap up here, and then yeah, I'll be out at the front gate waiting on you all.
Sounds good. You could join us. It's not like they'll bite too much.
Well, somebody's got to do this. It's better if we get it ready, so that way when we're ready, we can just go. I don't exactly remember where we're going, so I don't know how long it's gonna take to get there.
Fair enough. Also, the local blacksmith in town has a shield that might be of interest to you. I didn't recognize the order on it, but it might be something that your current one, it could be an upgrade for it.
His ears perk up, and he says, "I will go check on that. Thank you very much."
Not a problem. Don't trouble yourself too much with everything as I head back in.
As he will finish up and get everything prepped to go to the front gate, and then go to the smith before heading out to check on that shield.
Duly noted.
I step back in. Azzy is going to head to the blacksmith because they have a shield that might interest him that I saw there yesterday. He'll meet us by the front gates. Everything is all set and ready to go, so whenever you, Talia, and Calry are set to go, we can head over there.
Yeah, Talia is going to come downstairs in the morning. I'm assuming it's a 2-floor inn. That's just like classic assumption here. Suppose a 1 floor inn is feasible, but so when she comes downstairs, she looks like much more refreshed and everything, but she's got a very serious look on her face, along with a new mark that looks somewhat like you would imagine like a temporary tattoo of the symbol of Mistra, the pointed star, but it's drawn up like in the center of her forehead, and it's done in like a bright purplish ink almost.
Who did your makeup this morning?
Don't ask too many questions. If we're going to be going into something this dangerous, I need to be fully prepared.
I would imagine it's more for protection than necessarily makeup, but I do agree with Holly. If someone did your makeup, girl, they did not do well.
No, Talia would not wear makeup.
Catches Holly way off guard, and she just dies.
No. Talia would never wear makeup. It's too impractical because when you start getting horribly sweaty in combat, that shit just runs. She tried to in her younger years, but just didn't work out.
Can be
Gallery.
used for intimidation, though.
You good to go?
Ready on you. I'll have to go grab my horse from the stables, but I can meet you at the front gates.
All right, Holly, you all set as well?
Hmm.
Let's go then, and we'll meet Azzy by the front gates.
At this point, Talia's eyes go pretty wide after Callery departs and before we all head outside. And she's just going to kind of whisper under her breath, like, "You're telling me something as large as him can still fit on a horse?"
It's a large horse.
Oh, what a wonderful world you guide, lady. What a wonderful world. And she quickly takes a swig out of whatever stuff was left on the table from Holly's, like, mug, and then, like, gets up to leave.
Okay, so people are basically rallying to go to the gate as he is making a side trip to the blacksmith.
Yeah. I walk in, but I don't actually go to anybody. I imagine the shield that Nokris was talking about would probably stand out.
Yep, you could tell the difference between the shields, as this one is of higher quality than the rest of everything else that the guy probably has in his shop.
It's still mundane.
Yeah, more or less.
Okay.
It's not as marvelous as your shield is currently.
Any importance to the insignia on it, or is it just some sort of crest that I don't recognize?
Yeah, to you it's just an unrecognizable crest. It looks good, it looks cool, but it's just an unrecognizable crest to you.
How much for the shield?
I could part with the shield for 150 gold pieces.
Give you 125.
Bargaining. Let's make it 137.
135. Come on, don't go off of fives.
135. Fair enough. 135.
Awesome. I take out my coin purse and kind of count out 135 gold, and I pass it over. You're doing God's work. Any background to this shield?
Oh, not too much. There was a gentleman came through from the south, basically, passing on to the north that sold it here to me and needed the gold for travel and accommodations.
Down on his luck. Well, thank you for this. You don't recognize this crest, do you?
I do not know.
Excellent. Awesome. Well, good day.
Good day.
It's just a regular shield, right, John? I can just add that to my inventory.
Yeah, it's basically just a shield plus one.
Oh, sweet. It's plus one. Well, I go get the wagon and go to the front gate.
All right, very well. So you meet up at the front gate with everyone else, is where they were congregating.
So Sorry I'm late, seeing as I woke up before all of you. But I'm ready now, so...
As are we. Shall we head out?
Yep.
I hope you're ready for your first adventure with us, Calvary.
Ready?
Well, let's head to this Tower of Storms.
All right. And with that, you venture forth from the gates and journey out from the city. Get my trusty pen out. All right, having left Leyland shortly after the morning, early mid-morning day, you spend the journey trekking up the high road about, let's call it 3 hours journey until you reach the crossroads with the Tribor Trail and the high road. You pass by your usual folk on the road, commoners and the tradesmen and merchants, carts and various other modes of transportation passing you by. You note as you reach this particular location that, as you were instructed by the townskeeper, I'm sorry, not the townskeeper, the quest giver is what I will call her, you note that the tower should be to the west from this particular crossing, but using the information that you had been given previously from the day before, you can either opt to approach the location from the north, or come at it head-on, or come from the south. So which direction would you like to choose?
Shall we take the advice of an old fisherman who has fished these shores for many a year?
Yes, I would agree. Let's absolutely take his advice.
It will take us a little bit longer, but I do agree that if the man says it's better and an easier approach from the north, we should probably do it. As he
Alright.
Who's one of the plays the best?
As he thoughts as well.
Yeah, we should definitely approach from the... It'll give us a little bit more cover as well. Maybe a beached galleon, but still probably has cannons.
Indeed. Calvary, you all set with this?
Let's go from the north.
Alright then. We will approach from the north.
All right, very well. So the day continues on as you journey off the road, making your way through the highlands and the plains that take you to the coastline. Upon your arrival, you can see the location of the tower to the south, and you can make out what appears to be the boat, potentially, in among the shoals that dot the shoreline in that vicinity.
As it takes time to don his armor at this point.
All right, very
Yep.
well.
Talia will do the same.
Seeing the particular scene to the south where it's located, you will need to try to discern a manner of approach and how you would like to make your way to reach the boat.
How much actual walkable ground is there from like our vantage point and the boat itself?
So from where you are currently, you're probably about 200 yards or so to the north on the shoreline, on the beach line, more or less. And it is effectively a straight and flat 200 and maybe a little more yard distance in a straight direction to reach a little like shoal / sandbar kind of beach that juts out to the north of the tower, which is where the Dreadnought is currently beached into. So the tower is on the opposing side that you are now approaching from, but the Dreadnought is basically perpendicular with the coastline, and where it's beached.
Well,
There's no other option other than going forward. There's no cover. It's just all flat.
It is basically all flat ground, yes. It's just straight flatness along the beach line with nothing to really hide behind or use to blend in with from you all the way for about, their 200-yard distance to the ship.
You a good idea to leave the horses and wagon here before we continue on?
yeah, for sure. I would agree. Let's well, how big is this Dreadnought from what we can see of it?
The
Say
Dreadnought,
like in comparison to like a man of war.
so in comparison to a man of war, it's definitely, I guess I would say larger, in that it's probably, I'm not exactly up on my lengths with that particular ship hull, but let's say it's probably 1.5 times as long as that ship. This is basically meant to be like an ocean-faring warship.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Can we see any obvious entrances or perhaps like portholes or anything of that nature?
Yeah.
Where we are?
Yeah, from where you're looking, you can basically see that, there are some rising rocks on the shoals where it's beached on the south side of the ship that have like some gangway planks and things that are across from that. On the northern side, there is no such facing, and in order to gain access to the ship, you would have to go into the water and then basically try to climb your way up the hull of the ship to get in through any of the necessary holes and windows, cannon, the cannon holes and anything like that along the side of it for vantage.
Interesting.
So wait, you said there were gangway planks on the southern side?
Yes, on the southern side, there are gangway planks that are currently out onto the rocky shoals and outcroppings that make up the northern side of the large, let's call it stone island that the tower is built on top of.
Is there any movement on deck?
From what you can see from this distance, you do see movement. You can't quite make out numbers or what exactly they are at this vantage of distance, but you do in fact see movement.
Does it have forward-facing cannons?
It has something that you can tell to be a form of weaponry that is mounted, that is currently facing forward at this particular moment in time.
I will defer to Azzy's expertise, even though, like, this is definitely something. If the rumors of what the one fellow was saying were true, and this is something that involves a good deal of magic or religious interference, then it's still a boat. So, Azzy, this is your show.
It's our show, but looking at it, what?
Don't you have a spyglass or something?
Me? No,
I thought you did.
I do not. I don't think I do.
Shame.
Inventory. Oh, wait, wrong character. Inventory. I have a crystal
know.
doorknob.
Clearly that will open the vantage for you to see.
You can shake your thunder cannon and see if anybody comes out.
What's the weather like?
It's overcast and probably ready to storm at a moment's notice.
Shit.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck. Gotta protect the horses.
Well, we can charge ahead, ignoring the obvious effects of cannon fire towards us. Should they notice us and decide to fire, we're already within cannon range. 200 yards is nothing for that.
Yes,
They haven't fired on us already, so they either assume that we're threatless or, are otherwise preoccupied. The tower to the south of them seems to be the goal for them, because they do have gangway planks leading off of the ship. They're not trying to push the ship offshore, and there's nobody between us and the ship currently. I'm seeing some forward-facing cannons, which means that even if we circled around, we'd still be within cannon range, and forward-facing cannons are, just as deadly as our broadsiders. So the safest bet would actually probably be to put the tower between us and the Dreadnought and get as close to the tower as possible without drawing too much attention. But, and at this point, as he points at the sky, I don't think we have the luxury of time. Last time we played with storms, many people died.
Well, let's do this as efficiently and quickly as we can without opening ourselves up to too much danger. I don't know about you all. I might have scales and they might look like they can take a cannonball, but they can't.
Well,
Holly notes this down in her.
Well, in this
Get
case,
close distance quick.
so I would recommend we probably spread out as we approach. That way, they're less likely to injure more than one of us with a shot.
Well, you don't really aim with broadsiders. You go up and down and a little bit right or left. They're already trained on us. I'm pretty much guaranteed. If they're sailors, if they're just undead, I don't know how magic works.
You don't really aim with a bone construct walking shark either, do you? But look how that turned out.
Good job, by the way.
You're welcome, as she smiles and pats her trusty flail.
Well, how fast can that old nag run?
Fast enough.
We've got 200 yards between us and them. Each one of us has a steed, I believe. So we're looking at... What is that? What is the running speed of a war horse?
It's like 40 feet, I believe.
Laden or unladen?
Well, we're not going with encumbrance here. Is that so?
Aw, no variant encumbrance? Damn.
So let's see. It would take what, 7 seconds to cross 40 feet? Is that what you said,
I
Akris?
believe it is 40 feet.
I think it
So-
actually mentions mounts and like travel distance and things
Yeah.
like this.
If it's a horse, if it's a draft horse, it's got 40 feet. If it's a riding horse, it's got 60 feet.
Where's my war horse count at? Where is that in my inventory?
Your war horse is more than likely a riding horse, if I had to guess.
Doesn't tell me.
Yeah,
While they're discussing these things, I walk over to Holly and pat her on the shoulder. Say, let's make sure you get out of this alive, casting Death Ward on her.
Woohoo! I feel tingly.
This is how I die, charging a
Oh,
death
warhorse.
chip.
Here it is. 60 feet.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so riding horse and a warhorse are same speed. Draft horse, which is probably what we would use to pull the cart unless somebody else has been volunteering their horse.
It's been his war horse.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
usually been
Yeah.
mine.
It's been
Yep.
his or mine, pretty much.
Gotcha. And then, yeah, my old nag would definitely only be a riding horse. So,
Yeah, my horse is just a little normal riding horse as well.
all right. So that being said, let me find out travel speeds. So, I mean, it's 200 yards is how many
100
feet?
yards is going to take us less than a minute to get there.
About bit under 24 seconds. Because I think that technically that if it's that dashing would be considered.
It's roughly
so-
about 600 feet if it's 200 yards, and each
Mhm.
round is roughly 6 seconds, and we can move 120 feet.
About 30 seconds then,
Well,
roughly. Right?
yes. So,
I
Well, 60 feet
myself.
for 5 seconds rounds to.
so it's
what,
120
12 per
feet
second.
to
dash
5
That's 100.
seconds.
is a full run.
6 seconds, 6 times 5 is going to be 600,
Yeah. So.
right? 300.
So yeah, we're talking less than a minute to cross this gap, so I think we're fine. Yeah. I would highly suggest we park the cart and cover it with a tarp, though, to ensure that our goods are not spoiled during our little dash for hoping to not get hit by cannon fire.
They may not even be on the cannons. If it's magical, though, like, all bets are off. I have no idea what we're going into.
Or if it's a ship of the dead, they might not have even noticed us, or even be able to notice us, as I give a knowing look to Kalri.
Oh, they might notice one of us.
I didn't even think about that. Fuck magic.
Considering the guard felt confident in this ship having been, if it was an undead god, probably Nurgle's minions.
Well, we're not going to get here by continuing to. Not going to get anywhere by continuing to ponder, and woe is us. If we have the plan, let's enact the plan.
Agreed.
Send them to whatever final resting place they're going to get.
As
Well-
he will tighten the straps on his shield and his saddle, strap his legs in. So, does anybody want to take the lead, or are we going at the same time?
I'll go forward. I'll get my warhammer into one of the hands and just get ready for a quick dismount if needed from the horse to try and keep it from get full hit if it does get bad. Then get ready to push forward.
All right, Junie, you heard the man. He's going first.
Riding next to you.
Okay.
I'll be coming in behind those two.
This is how we die.
Charge of the Light Brigade.
The glorious charge. Okay. All right. So
Forward.
you prepare yourselves and you begin your rushed, galloped charge down the beach toward the ship. As you begin your motion and start out, you can start to see that all around the ship on the beach are these odd-looking rocks. But these odd-looking rocks appear to be moving, almost like they're writhing around. You cross about, let's say, 30 yards of distance, and the alarm is raised on board the ship. Some form of magical presence seems to be watching and senses your presence. You see some motion on the upper deck as individuals that you can now start to make out as actually individuals and not just moving masses on the deck. Move around and posture various implements to fire down at you upon the beach. And so, we begin the onslaught. So this is how we'll break this down in terms of placement and how we will be making roll attack attempts during this charge. If you are in the front line, you are going to be the numbers 1 and 3. If you are in the second line, you are going to be the numbers 2 and 4. And if you are in the third line at all, I don't even know if anyone was bringing up the actual rear, it will be 5 and 6.
That would be me.
Okay.
So you were in the middle.
I thought you said you were going after them. Or am I going after them? Whatever. Okay, I'll take the middle.
Take the middle,
I just-
Talia.
I'll
Okay.
bring up the rear.
Okay, so Koval, you will be 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
The middle row individuals, which looks to be Holly and Talia, will be 2 and 4. And the frontliners will be numbers 1 and 3. So as best as you can discern from what your visuals are showing you, there's at least 6 guns that will be trained on you to fire. And as you can probably assume, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But their placements of where they're firing are going to vary. So as you are cresting down along the beach, making your way towards these odd writhing rocks on the beach and the ship, which, as you are now also approaching, you can tell is not beached or parked, whatever you want to call it, into these shoals forward facing towards the shoreline, but rather with the rear of the ship facing the shoreline.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
great.
And so the cannon fire begins. So there is a initial volley slung that is launched and making its way towards the front line. And let's see if it hits anything. It lands probably about 30 feet to your left into the water, splashing with a violent impact, throwing water and shrapnel. Let's see if it actually does any damage to you or not. So the explosion and the concussive force, as well as the shrapnel and everything from that distance with it impacting, hits you for the frontline individuals, hits you for 14, half the damage, because it was not a hit on the fire. Second cannon fires, going a little longer than the first round did as you're advancing. Also veers off, this time into the beach to your right, to your left, and impacting into the sand, throwing sand and explosive shrapnel and the concussive force out. Let's see if what that does to you. So half of that damage is 7. So 7 damage to the middle line. The third round fires. Going back again to the front line. This one falls short, landing in front of you probably by about 30 feet again. You take 12 more damage from the impact. The next round again comes towards the front line. But completely misses. It goes off into the water, probably about 100 yards, as if the cannon was redirected by a magical force, and impacts into the water over there, doing absolutely nothing.
Bitch.
Fifth shot for the middle row. Is within range of probably about 20 feet. And impacts for 10 damage to the to the middle row. And the last volley goes to the back row. Overshot a little bit for 10 damage.
Okay.
During that onslaught of volleys, you have spanned about half the distance now to the Dreadnought. They are quite aware of your coming, and you see more commotion up on the deck as they prepare to send yet another volley.
Are we able to try and do anything to hinder that second volley coming in, if possible, Junie?
In what way?
Well, I do have spells that can reach that far, so I'm curious if I dropped one on top of them, if it would affect them in some way, or not.
At this particular moment in time, you're welcome to try. However, I can't really determine if it would be effective or not for you.
Okay. I will hold off on it now and go from there.
You're using explosive ammunition.
Mm-hmm. It's almost as if maybe it's magical in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like it's a Dreadnought.
All right, so as you begin the last distance of yardage towards the ship and its current, I guess, parking job where it's moored, you're starting to see more and more that the things that you saw on the beach in front of you are not, in fact, any kind of rock or something like that, or even something that might be from the sea, but they are, in fact, probably about 24 or a little thereunder zombies that have been staked and impaled along the beach.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing.
They are held fast in their position, so they are unable to move. However, they are impaled in such a way that they are upright and able to try to reach around, but can't
They're
actually
literally
move from their
living
position.
fortifications. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm. So that will be something that you'll have to deal with here in a few moments after the cannon fire. Unless something happens with the cannon fire. So as you continue along the beach, as you are riding forward, you have about 80 yards to go. The second wave begins. So this round goes to the front line again. This has been slightly magically reinforced for the effect of being able to reach the target. However, it is still not accurate enough to be a direct hit. And so it impacts the beach, probably about 20 yards to your front left inland. And the implosion and shrapnel that comes from it is about 12 damage worth to you.
That's my
This was the which row?
15. That be 4
Front row.
damage for me.
It's 1 and 3 is for the front row. What was that calorie about damage?
Since my AC is 15, would that be 4 damage on me?
Nope, because those 2 rolls is basically like rolling attack roll initiatives. They're not combined. Those are
Wanted to
two,
make
two
sure.
independent rolls. Yep. So second roll, or rather second shot, again at the front line. This time is a very close hit. So it's not an actual direct impact, which would probably kill you outright. But it lands close enough that it almost jars you or knocks you free from your horse. So I will need you to give me a strength check if you are a frontline rider. Okay. So Calorie, you are able to remain on your steed. Azzy, you are in danger of being thrown from your horse. But the both of you will be taking 10 damage. So, if you don't have anything else you would like to try to do to fortify that particular roll, as you are going to be knocked from your horse,
Good. Sorry, is that a strength check or a strength save?
check.
Okay, I passed. I hope it's
Is-
one.
Dominable.
Are you expending Indomitable to process that roll?
Yeah.
Okay, so then yes, you remain on your horse. And you are, in fact, indomitable.
Actually, I don't know that I can. Yeah, I can't use it because it's a saving throw that I can only use it on.
So, then, let's make it a save.
Well, if it's a save, I have a different
ahead.
bonus to my original roll.
Go ahead and roll your original roll as a save. Okay. So then we will treat them as saves, and you do not need to expend your Indomitable. All right, so the third volley of the second wave. Going for the back row. Is a near miss for 8 damage.
Okay.
Looks like another front row. For a near miss. For 9 damage.
Front row getting fucked up.
I'm just reviewing real quick to make sure I'm at the right count. I think I'm at on the 5th shot. I just want to make sure it's right. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on 5. Which apparently is also a front row shot.
God damn. I think we got a fucking cleric in the party now.
I'm at 23 health. make that less now.
Which is another near miss
That's what happens when you deal with cannonballs, unfortunately.
for 12.
So how close are we as a group to the ship now?
At this point through the volley, you're probably within 30 feet, or, well, not 30 feet, probably about 10 to 20 yards. So probably the difference between 30 to 60 feet.
So another
How the-
round.
Yes.
How the fuck are they hitting us? Like, what the fuck?
Just angle the cannons downward.
You can't do that in a ship that size.
These are special cannons.
Yeah, fucking clearly.
This is also
They're
a special
DM
ship.
cannons.
I believe the word you're looking for is magic, which he just used very succinctly in the first half.
And last shot. Is a middle row.
Looks like it's going wide.
Yeah, it's not going to do any kind of direct impact damage. I also had to move Bear before he stepped on the power button on my computer and shut it off because that would have sucked. And that one is 15.
Before we get to what I'm assuming is about to be the final volley, before we get adjacent to the ship, is there a way that Talia could push her horse to ride a little bit faster and move to the front row? Because I'm assuming that I've seen our new adventuring companion take quite a bit of shrapnel at this point. And I want to see if I can get within arm's reach of him.
You can ride a little faster, but at this point, you're basically already at full tilt trying to avoid the fire.
Okay.
So there's not really much you can do to try to catch up to the front row
Gotcha.
within
the amount of time that's being consumed during the particular ride.
Would I have
If I
time to use my ring to use the charge of Cure Wounds inside of it?
You could try to. It would be tough because it's kind of like you're riding hard, but you could probably try to expend a spell on yourself from your ring that's already basically been cast. Or is rather stored there, I suppose. But if that's something you want to do, go ahead and do it now. Okay, so 6 HP, it looks like.
Yep.
We're done with the volleys now, aren't we?
Correct.
Yeah.
So, the individuals in the front line, go ahead and have the two of you basically give me an athletics roll. Okay, I'm going to add those together. All right, so as you make it through the close proximity range of the cannons to fire upon you, you find yourself about to run headlong into a grouping of impaled zombies on stakes. Seeing this in front of you and kind of knowing your prowess and what you're doing in combat from a mounted position, you effectively run headlong into the individuals and try to basically bash your way through the impaled fortifications of zombies, which none of the spikes that are on there are angled in such a way to actually be in use as, fortifications to basically prevent incoming mounted action, let's say. They're simply there to hold these zombies fast in position in the ground, so they're basically like vertical stakes with zombies attached to prevent foot traffic. So you get to mow through them, running forward, using any delightful color you would like to for this action.
Ezzy's horse is a war horse, so I mean it's designed to do this kind of shit. So as he pulls out his sword and just pretty much lets it hang low, fucking trying to push the stakes off to the side as much as possible, so that way we're clearing out as much room for those of us behind us as we can.
All right, perfect. So as you effectively run forward through them, you drive a hole through the middle of the, let's call it blockage, disrupting and kind of running down and trampling over probably about 8 to 10 of the zombies, breaking through the other side of the weird and awkward palisades, coming to the other end, where you find quick comfort behind the blocked vantage of shoals along the beach to the ship, giving you the moment of respite to gather yourselves, dismount, and prepare for this, I guess, attempt to board a ship now that they're aware that you're coming.
Fuck. Where are the gangplanks?
So the gangplanks from where you are, basically you have some kind of like shoals, towering, sharp, jagged rocks kind of thing that are basically blocking your vantage to the ship. But around from where you are towards the waterfront into the shoals, there's a pathway that basically heads straight into the water or above the water, leading to the Tower of Storms. But about middle of the way from that, it arcs around to the right and heads to this kind of makeshift mooring that the ship is currently parked at. So to make your approach to the ship, you'll most likely, if you're going by land and not by water, attempt to go up around the shoals and make your way forward on this semi-uneven terrain and, among the crashing waves, making your way to the gangplanks to board the ship.
Did we actually see what was on the ship? Were they skeletons, zombies, or people?
They were figures that were cloaked, and you could not actually tell if they were humanoid or undead, but you have to assume, based upon the look of the ship, that it's probably not living, or if it is living, someone that wishes they were undead.
So, not good news, given the fact that they're using zombies as fortifications.
Just cleaned my fucking armor. Oh, Az is gonna down a potion before continuing on.
Okay. Another quaffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop one too.
How much did we take from that last volley?
The last one was 15 for the middle row.
Yeah, I'll probably quaff one as well then. Are you guys just clicking that out of your inventory?
Yeah.
I will pop one as well.
How do I actually use it? Oh, inventory. Got it.
Damn knockers.
Yup. Although, to be fair, I didn't take a lot of damage.
Because I assume this is probably going to be our last chance to heal before we begin our assault on the ship. Well, especially given that it's a quarter after 11.
I guess it's time to charge forward again.
I'm gonna take the path up across the shoals and the grounds there.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to do the by land approach.
Yeah. I think Azzy and I are the only ones who could effectively do it by sea, because he can walk on water and I have a potion of water breathing at the moment, but
Yeah, I wouldn't be very good at that. I mean, I'm still a fairly athletic person, but
Age is
probably
kicking
not going
in.
to happen. Yeah,
It's
I'm
totally
also
fine.
half plate.
That is completely and utterly fine. So, as you prepare yourselves and basically kind of dismount and stow your mounted steeds behind the safety of these rocky, crag-like shoals, you begin to make your way across the rocks and see the tower in front of you and turn to approach the ship to your right. Vantage from the tower is that there does not appear to be much commotion or presence at all in the tower, and it seems like the focus of all the activity is currently at the ship, which is, more or less moored over here. Rounding the bend to take a peek at the ship that's down the way from you, you see the Dreadnought. So ahead of you is an armored Dreadnought made from metal and bones, resting precariously upon the rocky outcropping in this little bay. Flames leap from a brazier mounted to its mainmast, and its ragged sails are stitched of worn leather. Among the crew on the deck, you see some barbaric-looking half-orcs wearing hoods. They are standing by and ready to repel you should you try to join them. On the front of the ship, you see the torso and head of what appears to be a gigantic skeleton clutching a halberd. And over a dozen... Oh, I already talked about this before, but there's dozens of zombies then staked, as you can see, in the waves below.
Gross.
Very unsanitary. Agreed.
If you can't see anything, I will try refreshing the page.
Yeah, because I just changed scenes. Oh, you know what? You might not be bound to the right token yet. Let me make sure this is updated.
Yeah, I can't see shit either.
That's better.
There, that should hopefully have updated now for everyone, I think.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so here we are at the precipice. You find yourselves basically on the coastal rocks, making your way to the ship. These particular rocks make the terrain passing difficult. So have each round that you guys move on those rocks, you have to roll a strength saving throw and pass, or else you fall prone and don't move from your position.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, ouch.
Here, let me make it a little easier. We'll mix this in with my level of involvement here. So, we will make it so that you have a 50-50, an even odd. So, we will roll a d20. You'll have an even odd. If you have an even, you will not be affected by the rocks and progress normally. If you have an odd, you will be affected by the rocks, and your movement will be halved. Then you have to pass a strength check. And if you fail, you'll fall prone. That way, at least it gives you the option of still progressing the distance necessary to potentially make it to the ship from where you are currently, but fall prone.
And how far are we from the ship?
Each
technically speaking?
each tile is 5 feet. I would show you the text on the map, but it's in the area that's currently hidden from sight from you for the way the layout this map is. So you can't see what it says. But each square is a 5-foot distance.
Okay.
Also,
so,
where are the gangplanks leading up to the ship? I need to know which way we can use to get up there.
So the gangplanks I will mark this way because they don't really show up very well, if at all, because they're like a little token on the GM layer. Gangplanks are right here. I guess I should draw them horizontally, huh?
They're purple.
Yep. I made it that because I picked that color. And there's one here.
Okay.
Similarly, the distance, if you wanted to try to jump it as well, is probably about, 8 foot up. So if you have a athletics check for the jump, you likely can grab hold and pull yourself up if you had to. So that's another option too.
Okay.
Just making sure, you said they were orcs for the people on the ship, or
Half orc.
Half orcs. Yep.
okay.
All right. And now that we're here, we'll pick it up next week.
Bum, bum,
Do you
bum.
want to roll initiative first?
No,
No.
we'll pick it up next week.
I was gonna say the
Wanted to
initiative
make sure.
would stay next week. Would it?
It would. Yeah, as long as they don't close the initiative window, it'll stay open.
Ah. Gotcha.
No real need to worry about that, I would say.
Necromancy.
Yeah.
3 out of 5 our party members fucking hate that shit. So
Better start working on my next character.
3 out of 5. 3 out of 5 party members agree that necromancy sucks.
That's such a fun time running tower. Such a good.
Yeah, fucking really. I thought for sure you were gonna die.
Those cannons
I'm still
were
only at
rough.
27.
Yeah, I won't lie. That approach was not the way I was hoping it was going to go, but that's the way it turned out. That's okay, because everyone's still alive at the moment.
The
Just didn't feel
fishermen
like there
still
were.
get the drink.
Yeah, it just didn't feel like there were any other options. Like either way we looked at it, we approached from the south. It was gonna start storming, and then what? Like we all know this is Talos's fucking shit. So buffs for the enemies, yay! If we approached head on, we're still gonna be in cannon range. If we approached from the north, we were still in cannon range.
If we had tried to go out and sail around behind them and approach that way,
We
3 out
had
of 5 party
ballista,
members
apparently.
would dry.
What about the potential change in time of day for the approach? Do you think that attempting to make your way there over the cover of darkness would have been any better?
Potentially.
Mm,
But the
no,
problem is we didn't know exactly what we were dealing with for
Right.
creatures.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, and I'm just going to double check on this.
Only one of us can see very well at night.
Yeah, unfortunately, the half-orcs don't give a fuck about night.
Mm-hmm.
And on
However-
top of that, it still would have been the same instance with, okay, yeah, well, Talos, so...
Right, but what are you saying, Junie?
Do you think that in the darkness during your approach, or the perceived darkness during your approach, that there would have been any benefit to still attempting to be sneaky and stealthy about your ability to get there?
Oh, potentially
Yeah.
for some of us.
Full cavalry charge was not the best idea.
Some of us could have. Some of us, no.
The full cavalry, the full cavalry charge probably saved you in your ability to get through it faster.
Yeah.
But potentially the full cavalry charge was just like whipping it out in the wind and running. So
Yes.
Whipping it out in the wind and running. That's Azzy's favorite activity after a keg.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Keg's empty, by the way, just saying.
Keg is now empty, by the way.
Yeah, because it got clipped by a cannonball.